of all possible worlds once again. Once again, temperatures in the 60s, it couldn't be better. When it gets around 70, it's a little warm. You want to put the summer riding gear on. I prefer riding in the full leathers, of course, just for safety, especially after last year, for safety's sake. Riding with gear appeals to me. Anyway, we're going to get another ride on our wonderful, wonderful Kawasaki here. We're coming up on the point where I guess we got, let's see, we got maybe 4 more rides on this, and it's going to be due for its, imagine this, it's 36 mile an hour, 36,000 mile service. Now when I bought the bike, Luciano and I went down to the bowels of Patterson. You couldn't imagine where we were. In the middle of the winter, and Luciano will remember this, with 3 feet of snow on the ground, and we didn't have a ramp for his truck that worked real well, and we got this thing out of one of those container things up a hill that was solid ice. We had the guy that sold me the bike had 7 of his basketball player friends, and they picked it up and put it in the truck. Oh, I know Luciano will never forget that. But here we are. Now here's my whole point. Here we are many, many years later, and you go out to the garage. I spent the whole winter restoring it, and you know that winter is gone. But now I come out to the garage in the morning and turnkey. And this baby has always been dead reliable. It's probably as reliable as any bike you can imagine. And it's an 89 bike. And I can't say it's one of my favorites because I love them all. They're like my children. I really do love them all. And that's really the whole thing in a nutshell with all these bikes. Every one is a unique little adventure. Even this bike I bought brand new, this bike I bought when it was very old. This bike, it's been a ton of fun to ride, but this one is fun to ride too. And that's the whole point of having a bike collection. If you just like to ride sport bikes or touring bikes or dirt bikes or whatever, well, it's easy. But I don't have that kind of taste. I'm like a guy that goes to a restaurant and one night he wants a little, Italian food, and one night he wants a Chinese food, and one night a big tuna fish, or I don't know. I do like having this collection that I have. It's unique. It's a little bit different than people that have like I call them the Jay Leno collections. But there's something about every bike is different. Every bike is unique, and when I get up in the morning, I can't make that decision. I've got to decide what's going to appeal to me. But then in certain conditions, I'll pick a bike that for that day. Like if I want to do a really long ride, go up north, the GS of course is the choice. If Luciano and I want to go scratching around on 106, this is the bike of choice. And on and on and on. And maybe some people don't even want a bike collection. They just want to have one bike like a multi-strata that does it all. Yeah, the KTM, a Duke, does it all. But to me, the answer is, and it only works for me, and I don't try to politicize it or anything. This little collection, which is a very relative to other people I know, very relatively low dollar collection. Low dollars, a lot of effort, and a lot of fun. So you might be able to see what's going on between the farm and the groundhog and whatever else is going on around here. Here's the major thing though, that all of this beautiful wisteria is now, I bet half of it is already in the pond, and if I don't do this 3 times a day, by the end of the night you can't see the fish. So this impacts the ride that, maybe a half hour less of riding, but we will get a ride today. So if you watch the videos every day, yesterday we caught the varmint. Now, we're hoping he doesn't have a lot of relatives, but Karen replanted a lot of her little vegetables, and we have I don't know how many we have. We have probably 4 figures worth of vegetables going in the ground here. But everyone, this is a wonderful hobby for the whole summer. So once I get this all watered in, now I noticed as the day is coming up, this has just been a beautiful day. Looks like the temperature's great, but the wind is already howling, and we're supposed to have some high winds this afternoon. They're predicting high winds. And sometimes I don't know if the fish are eating some of that wisteria when I feed them. My God, they're hungry. And one of the problems is when the wind is blowing like this, the sound on the camera gets distorted when you try to stop along the road and take some pictures. All you hear is the wind noise. I apologize for the wind noise today. So the tomatoes are growing, the lettuce is growing, the arugula is growing, the marigolds are growing. You would think this is like the motorcycle mall of gardening centers here, but it is a wonderful, wonderful hobby for Karen. Oh, for me too. And here's the best hobby of all. Get a good cup of coffee brewing, go out there for 5 minutes and do a little oogling before we head out on the open road, but the open road is calling. It should be a beautiful day. My God, the birds are so hungry this morning, I can't believe it. Wow. Look at this. Why am I so healthy? Brussels. She's making Brussels sprouts. Every day we have a different vegetable. Why don't we ever have meat? Now, I thought I'd share this information because a lot of people I know are shooting video now and sharing the videos. And what this is a remote mic. And part of the reason for this is on days like today when it's really windy out there, the mic now, instead of being in the front where it picks up as much of the wind noise as you can imagine, the microphone comes out the back of the jacket. Now, the only problem is I don't have one on a summer riding gear yet, but in the next couple of days it's going to be here. Now, I have done really extensive testing on the same day, taking a microphone off, plugged it in, put it back. This is a real big part of getting the sound of the motorcycle to be nice while you're shooting footage to share. And of course, this is for an SJ6 camera. Not all of the action cameras have a remote mic, but the SJ6 does. So that's just one of the things, and I've found, and I've showed this many times, that I have this little carbon fiber plate with what these are for is to keep this to rub up on your chest, because when you hit a bump, you don't want it to do that. Well, if you just mount the camera without that, and the camera will be jumping around like a jelly bean. So it's taken me many years to figure out how to make this as good as possible. And the other thing, if you put this even an inch lower, all you see is the dashboard of the motorcycle. You put it up higher, it hits your helmet. So this looks like a real simple thing, but when you see how I've made many mounts in different ways, and that SJ6 camera plugs in, the mic plugs in, and then I always have a Velcro strap that goes over it to keep it at, if you hit a bump, you don't want these. I would never trust these mounts that they're going to be bulletproof. And over the years, this has shot a lot of really good video for me. And that's basically how that mounts up. Again, the microphone plugs in, the little Velcro strap is there just in case that mount got loose for whatever reason, because a lot of times we're riding over bumpy roads and this is jumping around. I figure in the worst of all worlds, the microphone wire might hold it on, but it's not really. The Velcro strap is cheap insurance. So that's a little tip that may help if you're interested in shooting some video to share with your friends. So Karen's cooking and the weather is no precip, no chance of rain. Should be a great ride. So right from the beginning of the day, this day the wind was howling. This looks like it used to be an airport at one time. It looks like a grass landing strip here, kind of hanging. I love these low shots. Your bike looks totally different. of my favorite loops on the way to Hibernia. And for all purposes, these roads were deserted. It's unbelievable.
Blue skies all day. Absolutely beautiful.
High winds all day. Not blue skies, high winds. Oh, there's some nice scenes on the way up to Hibernia. And these back roads hardly have any traffic on a normal day. I think the roads in this area are just made for motorcycling. This is about a 3-hour loop for me from my house and through the loop and then home. And not much traffic. I just can't get over how little traffic there is lately. I actually did see one cop today, and I got him on video. One cop. But luckily, the Valentine saved my bacon, saved my wallet. And that Valentine, every time it saves me money, I just love it. There's the old cider mill. That's on the way up there. And it is such a nice, it's about a 3-hour loop again, and I can be back home in 3 hours. And I usually do the whole loop without a real break other than to buy gas or take pictures. And there's just 1 or 2 residential areas, and other than that, it's all backwards. Again, I do love these low shots. Just me. There's one of the only residential areas I go through right here for about a mile.
Well, this is what I love, all over this area.
Oh, I love these signs.
I think that's great. And thank you, healthcare workers. Thank you, one and all.
And they really are healthcare heroes, not healthcare workers. Look at this. The trees. There's still some nice trees blooming. Not sure it gets any better than this. A beautiful day, except for the wind, is the only downside.
So where the hell does all this wind come from? Well, I don't even need an engine. I could just go sailboating down Route 80 here. Coffee time. Lunchtime. The wind was howling. I'm sure you don't see it on the video or hear it. Well, maybe you hear it, but oh my God. I'm not even going to try to talk outside because the wind noise is terrible. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, of course. And thank you again to the healthcare workers. And boy, we appreciate it. And again, we do enjoy making the videos. Hope you enjoy watching them. Boy, oh boy, what a beautiful day. So again, I hope you did enjoy it. And of course, as I always try to end the video, thanks so much for joining us, and thanks for watching.